Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Biggerplate.com. Today I want to talk about project planning with mind maps while we take a look at the all-new MindMeister. Now, even though you may not be officially trained or qualified as a project manager or even have project management in your job description, there's a high chance you still find yourself regularly involved in the planning and management of projects at work. For most of us, the use of heavyweight project management tools for this type of work is unnecessary. They are expensive, complicated, and often it's too hard for most people to actually therefore engage with the process usefully during the project planning stages. This is where mind mapping tools like MindMeister fit in perfectly as a replacement. While professional project managers may need and even like heavyweight project management tools, I like to think of mind mapping software as the project management tool for the rest of us. Mind mapping software provides an intuitive and accessible way to capture ideas and requirements for the early stages of a project, making it easy to pull together the basic outline of your project plan and then helping you to develop further the project phases and the actions, all within the same visual document. Once the project is underway, the same mind map can also be used to keep track and monitor progress, with the visual summary acting as a quick and easy review tool for your project team. The mind map makes it easy for us to navigate around the different project areas, zooming in to see particular task details, or zooming out when we want to get a sense of that bigger picture. Software like MindMeister also gives us much greater flexibility to edit and update information and plans once the project is underway and we inevitably encounter those unexpected changes that require us to adapt our plans somewhat. Finally, if you're using a software like MindMeister, you also have a great way to collaborate and involve others in the project planning. MindMeister enables multiple users to work on the same mind map at the same time through their browser, meaning you can bring all of the relevant team member, expert, and stakeholder perspectives together in one coherent place, regardless of whether they're in the same location or not. This helps everyone to see the perspectives and inputs from other people and better understand how the different parts of the project connect up. So, let's see how all of this might work in reality with a quick look at an example project planning process. Here we have a basic project planning mind map, which you can access free at biggerplate.com, where you'll also see a wide range of alternative templates for project planning. So choose the one that most suits your needs, remembering of course that you can always remove sections of the template if they don't feel relevant, and add your own sections to the mind map if you feel something is missing. This particular template has a simple set of headings and subheadings which we're going to use during our project kickoff meeting to start pulling together the key information and ideas to form the basis of our project plan. So let's imagine we've been handed responsibility for setting up a virtual event for our organization, and we're going to use this template to build out our plan for the project. We might naturally start here by creating an overview of the project that we can use as a quick summary for anybody who's being introduced to the project. This would include a brief description, maybe some defined objectives for the project, and a little bit of a brainstorm about the stakeholders who we need to keep in mind or actually involve in the project. So using MindMeister, we can quickly build out this information, and then if we want to, we can even enrich it greatly using some of the core features of the product. For example, maybe in our description, we want to actually attach a briefing document. Perhaps this is the briefing document that we were sent by our boss or a client. Now, this is a Word document that's stored locally, maybe with lots of text and detail in it. Now, we want to have this accessible, but we don't want to get lost in it too often. So what I can do is actually attach this into the mind map so that we can quickly access it when we need to, if we need that extra detail and depth. We can add it to the topic, meaning it's readily available, but not getting in the way. Now, when it comes to our objectives, these may have been defined for us, or we might use the mind map to define them ourselves. But once we've got a set of objectives for our project, we want to make the priorities really clear here. So we can use icons within MindMeister to mark these objectives as priority 1, priority 2, and priority 3. But since it looks a little strange to have these ordered like this now that we've numbered them, we can easily just reorganize the topics in the mind map to give ourselves a nice coherent view of the project priorities. As we think about stakeholders in relation to the project, we might decide to break this out into internal and external stakeholders like so, creating a more easily managed structure than simply having one big list of stakeholders. Once again, we could use the icons within MindMeister to perhaps mark out certain stakeholders as particularly important for the success of this event. Next, we might move into some brainstorming with our team about ideas for the event itself. We might have one person building the mind map as the team discusses ideas, or we might, using MindMeister, have multiple people contributing to the mind map at the same time. Whenever you're conducting any sort of brainstorm within a mind map, we always suggest you think about capturing and categorizing, as this can help you to structure your ideas and information more easily. For example, you can see here that we've captured a few ideas about the technology we might use to host the event. And so instead of having these just sat here randomly like this, we can create a category topic called technology or platform, and then move those relevant topics to create a branch with this focus. Likewise, in our brainstorm here, we also seem to have ideas about the promotion and marketing of the event. So we can group these together in a new marketing branch. The important thing is once we create that category branch like marketing, we can use that to also prompt our thinking about what else we might need to think about from a marketing perspective. While we're in this brainstorming mode, we may also want to pull in some more external information into our mind maps. This time, rather than using the attachments feature in MindMeister, we're going to use the hyperlinks function. And this is a great way to save little signposts in your mind map to key web pages or documents that you find online. For example, if we go to our technology branch, we may want to just create some little bookmarks to providers of popular virtual conference software, which we might want to research further when we get into our project phases. If we grab the URL for these particular websites, for example, we can copy the URL and then put it into the mind map, saving ourselves a quick and easy shortcut to jump right to the site whenever we need. Rather than saving the sort of main page for the website, we can even save more specific pages from the website, like, for example, the pricing page, or perhaps a price that breaks down the platform features. Using little hyperlinks function like this is another way to make this mind map the sort of central control room for your project plan, pulling together vital information in this early stage so that people don't lose time hunting around for it later on down the line. Next, let's move over to the risks area of our project plan, where we'll work with our team to identify any obstacles or problems that might affect our project. Again, it can be helpful to think in categories as you do this, and simply starting with categories like internal and external can be a useful prompt when thinking about the risks or obstacles that may affect a project. As we build out our ideas and thinking in relation to project risks, it might be tempting to write lots of explanation text in order to fully articulate a particular issue. However, what we want to do in our mind maps is stick to just a few key words and the essential information on this surface level. If we start writing big chunks of text in the mind map, we're losing the key benefit of having this easy to digest, easy to work with information. However, if we do need to add that extra detail into a particular topic, we can leverage the notes function of MindMeister to add that extra depth without creating clutter on the surface of our mind map. Using the notes feature in this way is a great way to ensure important depth and detail in relation to your project is heard and captured in the project plan without making the entire project plan hard to work with. Finally, having brainstormed our project ideas and mapped out the project risks, we're now better placed to start putting some of our ideas and actions into a project schedule. Perhaps our initial brainstorming has made it clear that there's some research to be done first of all before we commit to anything, and so we might consider phase 1 of our project a research phase, drawing on the ideas and information that we gathered in the earlier stages. We may even perhaps copy some of the essential information across into this phase, like the initial platform research and hyperlinks that we found earlier. As your project schedule takes shape, you might once again use features like the attachments option to bring essential documents into the mind map as they are being developed, such as the draft budget or the marketing plan which needs to be approved. At this stage in the process, you might also like to start leveraging the task functionality within MindMeister by assigning these tasks to people and adding more task detail using the Meister Task product, which is integrated with MindMeister and allows you to see tasks in a different view that can help you switch from thinking mode in the mind map to kind of doing mode in Meister Task. As you add information to the task and eventually hit complete, your changes are then reflected back in the MindMeister project plan, which makes this an easy but invaluable way to see a clear visual summary of your team's progress across the many different tasks and phases involved, with each team member managing and updating their tasks using Meister Task or directly in the mind map. So, there you have it. A very quick look at our single, simple mind map template can help you move right the way through from an initial project overview or idea through a rich and well-structured brainstorming process and eventually lead to a full-phased project plan and schedule, complete with task assignment for easy progress monitoring and updating. To try out the all-new MindMeister for yourself, head on over to MindMeister.com. For a huge range of mind map templates, webinars, and other resources to help you go further with mind mapping, head on over to Biggerplate.com.